Well, everybody, welcome back to the Trig Podcast with Joy and Ghost TV on this beautiful Friday night. Friday, it is what, 10 p.m., 9:30 p.m. On this beautiful Friday. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to this video. Why I love live streaming for the future of the church. No doubt about it that live streaming has in many ways expanded the influence of the kingdom of God, of the gospel, of the ministries that you and I need. I want to walk you through the things that have helped me the most, and that perhaps you and your church or your just you and just you can implement, or can, if you want to learn more about that, of course, I can help you out. But I think the first thing that the online space, whether live streaming or Zoom, has done is it's brought people from different parts of the world together around the gospel. Every Thursday, I have a Bible study that's in Spanish, actually. It's not even in English. And it brings together people that live in Vegas, in Central America, my parents, in Northern California, in Southern California, here locally in different cities. And let's see, we had someone, Vegas I mentioned, someone in New York, someone that is just here locally but doesn't live, let's say, next to the church or next to my house. And all of those things have been beautiful to connect with people, my family, friends, friends of friends. And what's nice about Zoom, obviously, is that you can do it in your car. You can turn on your camera. You can have your audio off or muted. And yet, because we can share the screen on my end as the teacher, people can read along. I put the verses on the screen. I love seeing the faces. There's nothing like the faces. And when we're singing, I love hearing all the voices out of tune. I love that part the most. Getting to hear different people reading the scriptures. And then, of course, just seeing people, just even if I do see them in real person now that, quote, things are better, whatever. Even though I may see them, I still love to just see them on the screen, because there's something that it's just so convenient about being online. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to be stuck to a pew or in a room. You can be, a lot of times people are driving home from work. I had someone who was working the whole time, I think at a restaurant, and obviously without affecting her job or her other employees, she would just put the phone next to her. And I don't know if she was listening to it on her ear pods or whatever, but then she was telling me that some of her coworkers would listen in to the lesson. Isn't that amazing? I had someone else that would sometimes, I think they would go to the store to do groceries, and so they had the whole family in the car, and they would just listen to the teaching, to the singing. It's just something that you can't do that in a room. If you have children, you have to now do something for them. It's just so amazing. It's such a convenient, and yet, number two, the depth is just as deep, if not even deeper. The depth of the content, because maybe someone could say, well, people aren't focused or grocery shopping. No way. How many times, again, you have to probably be a multitasker, and maybe it's not for everyone, but how many times are you in the car listening to the radio? It's just normal, right? You're driving, you're probably on the phone and listening to the radio at the same time. I know none of us text while we're driving. Gosabella right there. But so it really isn't that big of an anomaly or something so radical. It really is. I think it's maybe one of the, let's just put it this way, it's a very focused time for a lot of people. And because of the convenience of the kids being in the car, or they're going grocery shopping, all that, maybe they do it on their way home. They have a 20-minute drive, and then they just bring in their phone with them while they're putting the groceries in the car or out of the car. And it's just wonderful. And if the guest, or the host, I guess, in this case me, just makes light of that, or just kind of goes with the flow, it allows people to just be themselves. Number three, speaking of that, it allows for people just to be themselves. In church, you have to sit a certain time and do the offering, get there on time and leave on time, and then all that stuff, right? With technology, you can arrive whenever. Obviously, we all want to be there on time and end on time, but you don't have to be stuck to a pew. You don't have to get up and interrupt the whole service to go to the bathroom. You can just go to the bathroom, turn off your mic, hopefully, and your camera, and boom, especially your camera, right? So it's so convenient. It's flexible. You can be in your PJs. You can be eating. You can have your dog next to you. I've had people that will have, yeah, their pets. I remember this one lady who had her pet, and it was kind of a comfort thing for her. She was going through some major stuff, cancer, and it was just wonderful. No big deal. I remember there was another person that was in her dorm because she's a student. And so I had other people that I remember this one guy who he's a gamer. And so he used all his gaming gear to be online. So he had his microphone and his cool chair and his awesome computer and his keyboard with all the cool noises. So it worked in his quote workflow. So the convenience of it is so powerful. The depth is so powerful. And then the cost is free. Zoom is free to download. The host has to pay. I think it's $11 a month, which is not a big deal. You can even collect an offering for the $120, whatever it is a year. And you got it. And it gives you unlimited time. And it's free, though. The app is free. Everybody has a phone. It doesn't have a translating button, so maybe that would be something fun for Zoom to implement, to press Spanish or whatever it is, or English if you're speaking in Spanish. So that would be nice, I guess, some ideas for Zoom to implement. I do love the show screen, share screen feature. I use it all the time. I highlight things. I love that part because it's like an iPad for you on your end. You're on your phone, so you're focused. You're like, oh, wow, that verse. And it's a great use of our phones. Instead of Netflix or Amazon, you're actually seeing the Bible on your phone, which is, I guess it encourages us to read the Bible on our phones more often, or just to read your Bible, period. It is such a wonderful thing. I have, obviously, as you know, I've always loved live streaming since, 2015 when it started, or 2014. I've always been into tech. And I got into Zoom and live streaming through OBS to Instagram. So right now we're on Instagram Live. Hello, Instagram. We're on Twitch and Periscope and Twitter and all the rest, YouTube, Facebook. And that's another thing. You can be on different platforms. So I have different people that watch me different places. You don't have to have just one app. You don't have to just be on one platform. You can be anywhere. And you can tailor make your program. You can have a green screen. You can have a nice background. You can have just your home office. You can just be in a room. Or I've had people, with the famous fan in the background thing or on their ceiling. That's like the typical Zoom look. All that stuff. I had someone who's a teacher, so she had her whole setup, a nice green screen and microphone, and it was just great because when she would teach the class, it was very natural. But I love all the features of highlighting and sharing the screen, especially when we're singing. Boom. And then, of course, you reinforce it with some real life action, depending, right, on vaccinations and all this stuff, on where you live, etc. But I don't think it's just the future. I think it's just a tool that is really powerful. I don't think it's future or not the future or it's not good or not. It's just another tool, like our phones. It's just a tool that can be added to what you already do. And so now these programs, obviously I'm not on Zoom right now. They're just on whatever platform you're watching me on. But I love this because, as you know, you've seen me do all these things, a picture-in-picture thing. Then I have these, the goodbye screen. Then I have this screen. Then you've seen me do the welcome screen. Right, so all of those different things are used from the platform. Now, I also have something that is going to be fun. I'm going to move some of these things. I have my little handy-dandy notebook here called the X Keys, or now there's a thing called Stream Deck, which is really fun. I don't have the Stream Deck. I don't need it. But I have this thing that I had before. Stream Decks were cool and fun. And so let's see, you might hear this. Let's see here. Yeah, you hear that? Yeah, that's like a sound of, let's see here. Let me turn on the volume on my end so I can hear it, because I can't really hear it. Let's see here. What's this one? Yeah, a little pixie dust. Not fun. Some special effects. What's this one again? Oh, yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that's the Jet. Now, the intro music, I usually have it on just while I'm talking, just to kind of have a little background. But during the sound effects, I don't need that. Hey, school's in, right? I mean, come on, teachers, or I guess that's a boxing match, but whatever. Speaking of boxing matches, or soccer, I guess, right? Or whatever, basketball. Hey, that's definitely my favorite, the rooster. So you can add sound effects. You can. There's this one thing, I don't have it. I don't really like it, but it changes the voice, your voice, sound of your voice, to a kid, to an angry man, to a really low voice, really high voice. And so that's called a Go XLR. All these things are available. I can provide links to all that stuff. It's not either or. I think it's just simply another amazing tool that. Now, another thing that I'm going to do here is this fall is I've been training 4 or 5 people in this one class called Life Changers in Spanish. Now, 2 of those people are conference speakers. So we've been talking about doing a virtual conference sometime this fall, 9 to 12 on a Saturday through Zoom and through these platforms. And it won't be us sitting down, but I have a studio next door. We'll stand up, have a nice background. It looks like a beach or like Hawaii or like, I don't know, a conference room. That's too boring. Maybe more like, yeah, a party, like a quinceañera. I need to have a quinceañera noise. That's not it. I need to have a quinceañera. What's a quinceañera noise? Like mariachis, I guess? Anyway, but we're going to have a nice background and then have us 3, 2 other people and myself, do different workshops on Life Changers and then have people sign up for the class that's coming after that. And then, because of this technology that I use, OBS or vMix, or there's a bunch, Restream and vMix, etc. Ecamm, another great one. Then you can add, what we're going to do is add some testimonies of people's lives, how they've been changed through this training called Life Changers. So we can play video. So here, obviously, you can see this called PIP, or picture in picture. So you see how that is just like, you see my screen small in the corner. So right now you could be watching a video of someone talking about how God is changing their lives. And then you can go back to this screen and there you have it. You can see this. So it's going to be a virtual conference. You don't need to be anywhere with masks. Right? I don't want to have to show I will show my vaccination card. I've been vaccinated. I'm all good. Moderna or whatever it is. I'm glad. And if they need a 3rd booster or whatever, yeah, sign me up. Get vaccinated, please. But you don't have to worry about that virtually. You can be home, still follow the class and be there on time and all that stuff. Watch the video. And it's not like all day. It's just 2-3 hours. Entertaining. All the little bells and whistles, literally. There's a bell or a whistle. Hey, roosters, come on now. Can't have live roosters at your live event, right? Try that at home. But it can be engaging. It can be fun. Now, another thing that I'm watching a video here. Maybe I'll show you that video. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to just take my screen off here for a second. And then I'm going to show you a video of one of my tech coaches, same as David Foster. And he and his wife or girlfriend, they're doing something that I did once called training with the Triggs, or trending with the Triggs, or keeping up with the Triggs. Basically, it's like a what do you call those then? Authenticity show or a reality show, that kind of thing. And so I want to show you this video of this guy. He's doing something. His is about cooking. Mine wouldn't be about cooking, although I have thought about that.
So I was thinking I need it.
You won't be able to hear this, but you'll see it here. So there's the video there on the screen. So that's David Foster. He's out in Portland, Oregon, and he's talking us through the tech part. He's not cooking. This is just the tech part. Right now, I don't know if it's his brother or maybe it is his girlfriend holding the camera. And this is live, not right now, but when he did this, it was live. It was being live streamed. And here he is, as I said, just talking about the tech, the computers, the lights, which is super awesome, and I'm learning a lot. But his show, it's on Sundays. It's going to be live cooking. I think it's his girlfriend, and he's helping her out. And it's vegan stuff, all the stuff that people like. And he's talking about, see how he's like pointing up? He's talking about how he's going to connect 2-3 different cameras, one over the food, one on the microwave. He's going to use a suction cup, he's saying, to have a camera look down like a GoPro and DSLRs and mirrorless cameras and phones and all that stuff. I think it's like 4 cameras. I've done that here before. I've had 4 cameras plugged in. And yeah, you need definitely at least 2 people to do all that. It's too crazy to have it all be done just by one person. But I guess my point is that this kind of stuff is so entertaining. Even just him talking about tech, just that he's in his kitchen. And if you could hear it, the sound is great. As you see, the video is awesome. It's not all blurry or cutting in and out. And the audio, you can't hear it, but you can go and just check him out. It's called Impartial Geek. And he just did that today. If you turn on the audio, it's great. It's a wireless mic that's only $100, which I have one that's just like it. And I don't need to buy anything. I can show you how to do all that. But this is something that we can do. A cooking show, you want to do discipleship through cooking. You want to do, as I said, a conference. You want to be a teacher. For me, as you know, obviously, I do a lot of classes on emotional healing and mental health issues and how to overcome fear and anxiety and all that stuff. Imagine instead of just me sitting here on my desk, I can stand up and walk around. Or, like I said, going back to trending with the Triggs or keeping up with the Triggs. Imagine if, let's say, right now, in the next few weeks, everyone's going back to school, right? All of our kids and my wife and all of us are getting back to the swing of things. Imagine if you just saw our morning routine. Wouldn't that be exciting and interesting? Just like, wow, they do the same thing as we do. They have to run around, get the cars ready, and we don't have small kids, but just eating breakfast. I mean, obviously, again, we don't all leave at the same time, but wouldn't it be just interesting to see everyone run around? Because we all do the same thing. It's just like this guy. He's just standing there. I'm telling you, he does this for an hour, just standing in his kitchen. I've watched the whole thing, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. Just because it's so like my house. It's just so engaging. It's so relatable. Just he's a chubby guy with a funny hat and what does his t-shirt say? Dunder Mifflin? I mean, it's just like a regular guy in his regular kitchen. But, like I said, the audio's quality, the lighting you can see is good. The camera, I can show you all that stuff. I can teach you. And you can do, I know, now you might say, well, I'm not going to do all that. And that's fine. But as far as church, imagine if you had church at home. You could just have, you could have a friend, your kids, your whatever, just walk around with a camera. And this is, remember, live. This is live. You don't have to edit. You don't have to know anything about anything. You just have to know how to go live. And this is all, he has what, a tambourine there? No, it's like a basket or something. I could be the offering basket. And so it's super, now, okay, it's not easy, but it's something that I know how to do with my eyes closed. And I want to do that because I want church to be accessible to everyone. And let's be honest, this whole pandemic is going for another, year or 2, 3 more years? I mean, we have to have the whole world be vaccinated. And with all the craziness here in the States and worldwide with access, it may take till 2025 to get this thing. My point is, we're not going to be just going to church like normal anytime soon. We're going to have less people, more people wanting to be home, especially in the people that I love, immigrants, children, people that don't want to leave the house. I want to do something in Spanish. So, or just the average person who isn't ready to leave their house or leave their apartment, or their kids aren't vaccinated, and so blah, blah, blah. Or maybe they just want to travel during the weekend because it's been so crazy these days, being at home all the time, and they just want to go away for a couple of days. And I don't want to be in a pew. I mean, they love church. I love church. We love Jesus, but we need that flexibility and to make it normal. And giving can still be done online. I mean, it's so easy to give online. You just press this or a QR code. It's so simple. And it's not replacing anything. It's just it's almost like the tapes of old. Remember how, when I was at least a kid, I didn't like tapes, but I remember there was a tape ministry at a lot of the churches where I grew up in the 80s and 90s. And people never said, oh, that's horrible. Don't give people tapes. They need to be in church. No, you just gave it as a supplement. An aunt that couldn't come, or people wanted to just give those tapes to their friends, or they want to listen to it themselves. It's the same thing. Now it's just way more advanced. and it's more flexible. It's still just as deep, and sometimes it's better. And because of this pandemic, why feel guilty? Why not make this normal? And it's not just for Sundays, it's for Monday, Wednesday. Now, yes, if you're going to have a piñata, of course, or a nacho bar, okay. You can't exactly have a nacho bar on Zoom, okay? So, yes, you still have to have those gatherings and meet face to face, of course. But these are all kinds of tools that I love to use that are mostly free. You don't need a lot of gear. You know what you mostly need is to know how to do it. And that's what I love to do. I'm not a tech teacher per se. I just love to use it for my own church and ministry and life. But I do like teaching other people, at least sharing with you what I know, the links and the videos and all these things. There's a ton of people that teach this stuff, and I've been doing it for years. And I would love to, yes, teach you what I know. And come to your church, come to your home, set up something, just get on the phone with you, whatever it is, and help you kind of improve your content. And you don't have to be a pastor or a church leader. You can be someone who wants to teach classes. And you want to, maybe you're an educator. I have this friend, he's a virtual friend. I don't know him personally. Tom is his name, Tom Buck. And he quit his job teaching. I think it was at the beginning of this year, maybe January. I think he taught eighth grade math or something, or eighth grade computer class, something like that at a high school. Is that a high school? Yeah. Or middle school, whatever eighth grade is. I think that's a middle school. So maybe he was like in 10th. He taught 10th grade, whatever it is. He taught, I think, high school. He quit because it was all on Zoom, and that's not why he quit. He just realized that he could do that same Zoom thing for a business teaching people how to live stream and then getting sponsors and whatever. And he said that he did that like at the beginning of last year during the pandemic just for his job. And people loved it. People asked him, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because he wouldn't just use his phone or his webcam. He would use nice gear, just like I have. People were like, "Wow, that's so awesome. It sounds great and it looks so awesome, and all the little bells and whistles and all that stuff and the images, and looks way better than my Zoom." And people just began to ask him for help. My point is, it was in January of this year. He left his job. Now, what do they pay teachers these days? What, 60,000, 50,000? 40,000? I don't know where he lives. I think he lives in where? Texas? I don't know. Whatever. Let's say he made $50,000 as a high school teacher. I don't know. He said that in a year, he was making that much money and more online. So he quit his job, is my point. And now he's online. So you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be just church. It doesn't have to be for business. You just may want to just add it on to your current life. You don't have to be a beauty person. You don't have to be beautiful. I mean, I know I am, but for the rest, you don't have to be beautiful, or you have to be somewhat entertaining. Yes, it is not easy for me. I'm an introvert most of the time. I don't like entertaining for an hour, talking. I do like talking, but you have to be, animated and blah, 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 because people don't like to look at boring. They just don't, because our lives are boring. So they want to see something better than our lives. That's just how it is. But if you can get over that, or you have the energy to do it weekly, really daily, really is the norm now. If it's live, you need to do it daily, 3 times, whatever. Often, even if it's just an upload, you have to do it daily or 3 times a week, or at the least once a week. That's like now the minimum. But anyway, you can use these tools to augment your business. It's not for everyone. I did it for a long time, and it wasn't for me as far as this is my thing. To me, it's supplemental. I don't mean income. I just mean as another way to communicate and to be in your lives, whether it's one person, 0, my mom, whoever. And it's also a way, as I said, to really share the gospel and to let people know, mostly, as I said, on Thursdays and also on Sundays, so that people can know kind of what God is doing, and they can have the flexibility and all that stuff in the depth. So you're probably already a part of a Zoom thing at work or at church or at whatever, or at school for your kids' principal communicating with you. So this is nothing new. It's just taking it to that next level so that you can have a program, create content, you can share your message, and you don't have to travel or go anywhere or spend a lot of money or be a super techie person. I can help you. I've helped people who run nonprofits, and I can do what's called remote production, where I'm the producer of their show, even though they're in a different part of the country. So I can be behind the scenes. I'm not on the camera. I'm not on the screen. They are, but I'm doing all the behind the scenes virtually. I'm in California and they're in a different part of the States. I can do that. Other people, when we could, they would come into my studio. Other people, I just trained them. But that's not even my point. My point is these tools are powerful and I love them because of all the things I've said. So thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment. I'll see you next time.